Hey, welcome back, my fellow investors. It's me, ET. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a self-taught investor who likes to talk about ways to increase one's net worth and also increase their financial literacy. Now, today's video is going to be talking about tenet number 2 of the 7 tenets to financial literacy. And tenet number 2 is savings. What we're going to talk about why people don't save, the consequences of saving, and some possible solutions to correct that. So when you focus on why people don't save, it's most people know that they should. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They know that they should, they just don't do it. And a lot of reasons why they don't do it is because either they can't control their spending, they're living above their means, trying to keep up with the Joneses, they don't have a budget, and it all boils down to one thing, no discipline. Everybody knows that they need to save money, but a lot of people just don't. When I say control your spending, when you leave to go shopping for whatever, do you come back with more than what that you intended to spend or buy when you went out? Look in your closet. Are there items in your closet with price tags on it that has been there for weeks, maybe even months? That's an indication that, hey, you may have a controlling your spending problem, living above your means and trying to keep up with the Joneses. No, I mean, that is always a recipe for failure. Having no budget. You need to have a budget. You need to know what's coming in, what you have planned going out, and what's going to be left over. Bottom line on all of that, if you have knowledge of that and you're not doing it, it boils down to just not having that discipline. And discipline realistically is just a habit. You need to get in the habit of savings. Now, some of the consequences that you may face is you're not going to be able to handle an emergency. The most common emergency that people face that really throws them for a loop is unforeseen car repair. Bottom line is, it should piss you off, that your car breaks down and you got to spend money. Yes. But it shouldn't stress you out to the fact that, guess what? I don't have money to get this repaired. That has a lot to do with, just not saving. Also, not saving is going to lead to debt. And the reason why is because in order for you to live above your means, keep up with the Joneses, if you don't have control of your spending, that basically means that you're putting stuff on a credit card. Or you're financing something that you really can't afford. Now, if you already know that you need to save, I don't need to convince you no more of that. We already know that, hey, if an emergency happens, if it's gonna put you on the brink of having a financial collapse, we need to save. Now, some of the solutions, ways to save, I would tell any and everyone that when you start saving, first of all, you want to put it on automatic pilot, which is easy to do. Most employers will offer direct deposit. Quite naturally, you got direct deposit, goes straight into your bank. You can set up your direct deposit to actually take some of the money that's deposited there and put it into a savings account. I would highly recommend that you do that. And at a bare minimum, 10%. Now, once you have that set up, once you have this savings account set up, I would basically say, set up a savings account that is going to be hard to get to, hard to access. So that means, guess what? You do not have a debit card set up to that savings account. And realistically, you might want to try to set up a savings account that is in a different location, possibly even a different bank than the ones that you have your direct deposit going to. You don't want to be able to get that money. You want to make sure easily. You want to make sure that you have a hard, there's a difficult way to access that money. Can be just so easy that you can pull out a debit card or any type of card and access that money. All right. You need to track and you need to think about it. It goes back to not having a budget. You need to have a budget. That's part of that tracking. And you need to think about it. In other words, you need to be working with that budget every pay period, constantly taking a look at that. You need to set goals on that. All right. Now, ideally, you've heard me talk about you want to have 6 to 12 months of living expenses set aside for emergency fund. And that all starts with savings. But if you can't, if that sounds overtaxing to you, then I would definitely say use the Dave Ramsey method. Save $1,000 and then go from there. Set a goal, save $1,000. Once you have that $1,000, then guess what? Maybe you now might want to increase that to $2,000. But you need to get in that habit. You need to have a goal. Once you achieve that goal, trust me, it'll feel good and it'll make you want to set more goals. Now, also, you're going to need to find somebody to support you. And what I mean by support you in your effort of trying to save more. You can't have a significant other who doesn't control their spending, doesn't know how to control their spending, likes to live above their means and so forth, and you're trying to get everything in order. It doesn't work that way. You guys need to be on the same page. You need to find somebody that's going to support your efforts. All right, let's say that you have that, but also you need to go out there and look for mentors. In other words, start feeding your mind things like that. If you don't have anybody or know anyone, guess what? Start reading books on saving. Start looking at YouTube channels about saving your money and the benefits of saving. Start feeding that into your brain consciously, that eventually is going to affect your subconscious. So that way, guess what? You're going to be able to get to the point where you're going to be able to leave your house to go shopping for something and not overspend. Not be so concerned about, what your neighbor is doing and buying and so forth. You got to get that under control. That's why that is the number 2 tenets of the 7 tenets of financial literacy. The first one is education and planning. The second one is savings, because you can't get to the third one without doing the first 2. The third one is investing, but we'll talk about that on another video. All right, with that being said, I know this was quick, down and dirty, but hey, take it to heart, think about it, put it into action. And with that, guys, I'm going to leave you with these 3 things, and you know what they are. Hit save. All right, you got to have that emergency fund. You got to have something to fall back on. You got to invest. Once you have something to fall back on, you got to now start putting your money to work so that your money can start making money for you. And 3, you got to apply what you know, because knowledge is not power. It's the application of knowledge that's power. Hey guys, I will see you in your next video. Take care. Bye-bye.